Hey, what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy it. Another interesting piece that I found on On3 today was from Shea Dixon in his tidbits section, and he was talking defensive backfield, mainly cornerbacks, and get into, okay, if the season started today, who would be your starting corners? And according to Shea, it's Ashton Stamps and P.J. Woodland, which we kind of said, I think, a couple of weeks ago as well. Stamps, who played a ton last year, has reportedly been bulking up in the offseason, feeling very ready to go. I thought it was interesting to read that apparently P.J. Woodland's kicking ass in these summer workouts. Hasn't missed a beat. We told you back during spring, anytime somebody comes out of nowhere like that and starts getting brought up unbidden in multiple interviews, that's kind of that guy that has that refuse to be denied sort of attitude. And, dominating summer workouts continues to kind of reinforce that. Also, I didn't realize this. P.J. Woodland, well, we may not have talked about him like a Toviano or somebody coming out of high school. He was the Mississippi 7A Defensive Player of the Year. Okay? Best defensive player in the entire state. This dude isn't nothing. Isn't nobody. Isn't like it's not like Tyrann Mathieu, who just like a lightning bolt came out of nowhere and blew everybody away. Like, he has some bona fides himself here coming out of high school. But maybe the most interesting, and look, Zy Alexander is still an unknown, as he'll be 9 months off of ACL surgery by camp time. So that's just really tough to ask him to come back in form. And then Javian Toviano and J.K. Johnson are kind of viewed as your twos. Now, obviously, they can change that with a great camp. But maybe most interestingly, a new name has entered the mix. Taylor, do you remember the name Michael Turner?
Yeah, he signed as a wide receiver.
Yes. Also used to play running back for the Falcons, the burner. Well, he went back to high school, and he was a 4-star wide receiver out of John Curtis signee. Now, apparently, the plan was always for Corey Raymond to have him switch over to defensive back. That has now been done. He's 6'1", long, right? If you think back to Corey Raymond's favorite corners, they're all about 6'1", which seems to be the cutoff for, like, you can still move like you need to be able to move as a cornerback, but you could also still be maybe a bit longer than your average cornerback. And according to multiple sources, and Shea, he has, quote, been turning heads. And you can kind of roll your eyes at that, but I think there's something to be said for that, again, because the body type makes sense. Being a 4-star wide receiver out of Curtis, you know he has physicality, you know he has size, and he was and he's being painted as kind of a sleeper pick, as somebody who maybe by mid-season could force his way into this lineup, and then the long-term projection could be interesting. Maybe this ends up being one of those summer stories that doesn't end up mattering and never comes to pass, but I deemed it worth mentioning and found it interesting that there could be a name out there in that cornerback room that we aren't even thinking about. That's him. He looks good. Looks good in the uni. For sure. Turn of the burner. Lost weight. Legs aren't as big as they used to be.
Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.